What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another Luna Classic and cryptocurrency market update. Today we're going to go through some news, why I think the price isn't going as favorably as we want it to, and everything that you need to know to be fully up to date, and where I think the market is going to go next in the short term and the long term. With that said, if you don't know me already, my name's Connor, not a financial advisor. Don't base any financial decisions on these videos, and let's jump straight into it. So far, this is what I was telling you guys, that I am going to be donating the first month revenue on this channel, because I was just monetized about 2 days ago to burning Luna Classic. Now, we can burn as much as possible together, right? So I want to show you the back end and exactly what's happening, so you can come on this journey with me, and then we'll basically burn it together, showing you exactly the process of that happening. So right now, the channel has made $81.77. Now, that's pretty incredible. We were only monetized about 2 days ago, and this is all down to you guys. So thank you for that. And I'm not going to be benefiting from this personally. I'm going to donate or burn this into Luna Classic at the end of the month when I get my first AdSense revenue check, however it works. So I wanted to show this to you guys because we're doing very, very well, right? 115,000 views in the last 28 days, 1.2K subscribers, 4.5 thousand watch hours, and $81 in AdSense revenue. Now, I think that this amount of money is going to grow exponentially as long as we can keep getting these videos out there. Share these videos, quickly go down, like it, subscribe, put the notifications on, put it on in the background, watch it on repeat, whatever you want to do to help out with this cause. And hopefully we can burn a significant amount of Luna Classic here on the channel. I'm pretty excited about this. It's not something I've ever done before, but I thought it'd be quite nice to go through this with you guys and give you the exact look at the back end. So right now, heading over to the cryptocurrency market, we are down 0.5%. Bitcoin coming down almost 2% there. All of these guys are sitting normal. We got BNB, most of the market down 2, 3, 4%. We got the bubbles here. Let me just refresh that for you guys. Most of all, we are red. But wow, Anchor up 44%. I actually made a video on Anchor just about 2 or 3 days ago. So 44% gains on Anchor. Absolutely lovely to see. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to my main channel. The link's down there in the description. I give you market updates, right? Quite similar to these videos, but without the emphasis on Luna Classic. Now, anyway, Crypto Greed and Fear Index today, it won't be a 42 anymore, I'm sure. It is, oh, it still is a 42. Very nice. Yesterday, 41. So we're actually getting more euphoric since yesterday, which I think is quite surprising, because I actually have an idea. I think we might see a pullback right now. With that said, yesterday we did get this 8.5% inflation data, the CPI report, right? Bitcoin acted very, very favorably against this, moving upwards, which was very, very nice to see. You know that I had my short position up here at about $24,000, and then it came down. I did add in a take profit / a stop loss that was in the profit, and when we got that good data, it was triggered. So right now I'm trying to figure out what to do next, but I do kind of have an idea that we might see some blood, some unfavorable action come into the market. The reason why I think that is because I think people are getting a little bit too excited too quickly. I think that the prices of things may continue to rise again. One of the main factors of this happening was the fact that gasoline prices was going down. And I think maybe commodities, gasoline prices may start to rise again. There is a lot of factors that may play into that, but I do think the market is getting a little bit too euphoric too quickly. Think back to just about a month ago or 2 months ago, however long, whenever this was. When was this? This was June 19th, right? The whole market, Twitter, YouTube, Google, mainstream media, Bitcoin, crypto is going to absolute zero. That was the general consensus. Most of my comments were calling me an idiot for dollar cost averaging. Who's laughing now? But with that, now when you look at Twitter, you look at the mainstream media, you look at everywhere, everyone's bullish. Everyone's all of a sudden bullish, which I don't like the look of. That doesn't sit very well with me. So I am watching this very closely to see what happens next. Potentially putting in another short position up here around 24.5 all the way up to 25 in this line of resistance. If we came up and interacted with this line of resistance, I think it would actually be a great place for me to potentially add a short with a very tight stop loss to protect the downside. With that said, if you guys could do me a favor, I have a link down there in my description to Binance. They're affiliate of me, my channels, that sort of thing, and it really does help the channel if you sign up. Of course, you can trade your Luna Classic here. It will really benefit the channel if you just sign up and make an account. That's all you have to do. And yeah, that would really help out the channel. If you do want to trade on Binance, you can do derivatives, so you can long and short these Bitcoin moves that I'm talking about here. Of course, you have to make up your own decisions when it comes to that, but Binance, one of the biggest exchanges out there. I hold a bunch of my crypto on there. I've used it for over 5 years now. I think that they're relatively safe, and I'm happy to leave my stuff there. With that said, I wanted to talk about something quickly, because I did talk about Luna DAO basically having faith and liking Dokuan, and I want to read their reasoning behind supporting Luna Classic and the new Luna coin. We've always said that we support Luna Classic and Luna. Here's why. Firstly, the new Luna chain is for the people who lost the most in the May crash, who spent the most time building Luna Classic ecosystem of decentralized apps. They were the hardest hit of all, the most heartbroken. I count myself in them. I had multiple six figures in UST. I got the airdrop. I sold it within the same day. I did get back probably maybe 1 or 2%. So it was rubbish. I think that it's a cash grab, but continuing on. In May, the community fairly assumed that Luna Classic was dead. A big point of the new chain was also to resolve various issues we hadn't been happy with, like TFL owning half the supply. This is why the TFL wallets was not included in the Luna airdrop, to make it more of a community chain. This is also why the proposal for the new chain passed with flying colors, and it is also why Dokuan is focusing his energy on the new chain. There's an irony here in that if you actually despise plus wish to escape Dokuan TFL, they own about 999x as much Luna Classic as they do Luna. Very interesting sentence there that you guys should pay attention to, and definitely remember they own a lot of Luna Classic. Now moving on, in terms of Dokuan, novel financial primitives in crypto are always at risk of total annihilation. You don't get 1000x upside unless you are willing to risk catastrophic downsides. I do completely agree with that sentence. Everyone in the old Luna community understood it was asymmetrical bet on an experimental model. I have to argue with that a little bit. I don't think everyone understood that at all. If we do go to the Anchor website where a lot of people were holding their UST, I think that they unfairly compared Anchor protocol to a bank, which misled very new investors and gave them a false sense of security, right? They actively compared themselves to banks, which may have misled early investors. Now, I'm not saying that I blame them for the amount of money that I lost in UST. It was my own risk. I understood the risks, but having that comparison to a bank, making it essentially sound like it was as safe as a bank, is the problem that I have, and the reason why I think they are more to blame than what this thread is making out. One big risk of failure, but also an insanely big upside in capturing the future stablecoin market for centralized stables. Dokuan said experiment in every interview. Now again, he went around Twitter calling people poor, and that they would stay poor if they didn't invest in it. So we'll leave that up to you guys. In reality, most of us suffered enormous losses and grief, but we all chose to make an asymmetrical bet. Criminality is different from failure. Again, who knows? We don't have any proof that Dokuan or TFL or anyone inside had any real involvement in this, but we haven't had proof yet, and we do have no idea if he's completely blameless or to blame. We don't know at all. Personally, I believe lawsuits are more likely to be won against centralized exchanges who promise UST would always be $1 in their advertisements to naive crypto novices. Agree with that. Luna Classic, of course, turned out to be far from dead. We realized this earlier than everyone else and created Luna Classic DAO and started burning for this reason. Blockchains are notoriously hard to kill. In the case of Luna Classic, it had an enormous number of wallet installs and a huge ecosystem of decentralized apps. Even in a super bad state, good governance, coordinated efforts, building and investment might restore a lot of the value in the chain. But with Luna, the new one, you have to understand the context given the rise of the creation of the new chain, the fair assumption that Luna Classic was dead, that the current Luna holders are those who lost most money by far. With these 2 points in mind, you'll see that dismissing plus attacking the new Luna also means that dismissing a huge number of people's hope to recoup losses. A rational view is to let go of ignorance plus tribalism and see a way for both chains to thrive. And I completely agree with that. I think there is space for both chains to thrive. If Dokuan, TFL turn out to have nothing to do with it, happy days. There's two chains here that can thrive together. One being community-based, hype, meme, whatever you want to call it, and the other one focusing on a similar aspect to what they used to. And I think that's perfectly fine. I have nothing wrong with that. But I do think that Dokuan has more to answer for. I was there when he wasn't talking, when everything was crashing. He could have very much said to people, could have been much more transparent while the crash was happening, and that would have made me far more comfortable with feeling like he had nothing to do with it now. Anyway, that's just my opinion. With that said, hopefully I provided you some value. Remember, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. I'll see you guys in the next one.